Episode 121, Jade's Exclusive Position. Ashley fiercely pierced Taylor's hand and walked to the corner of the room. She kept pinching Taylor's hand until it was red, but Taylor didn't dare to resist. She could only grit her teeth and endure the pain. "Ashley, what happened to you?" Taylor looked at her humbly. "What's wrong? How dare you ask me what's wrong? How do you do things? Didn't I tell you to give her all of it? How did she recover so quickly? She should have been in the hospital for 3 or 4 days. It should be serious." Ashley looked upset and vicious. Her voice was loud. Taylor looked around very nervously, afraid that they'd be discovered. Fortunately, there was no one in the dressing room, and they were all alone in the corner. No one should have heard what they said. Taylor rubbed her arm, which was red from being pinched, and said anxiously, "Ashley, I did what you said. I put it all on her lunch. I don't know what's going on either. Was there not enough of the drug?" She was afraid that Jade would die, so she didn't pour all the drug into Jade's food. She thought that Jade would have been seriously hospitalised. That would have given the director a chance to choose a new female lead. It could also destroy Jade's image. She didn't expect Jade to recover after only 1 night of rest. It was really strange. From then on, her meals were all personally prepared by her manager separately from everyone else's meals. That way, no one could get close to her food. It would be difficult for them to drug her again. Plus, after all that had happened, Jade would be on her guard. "You're useless. You couldn't even drug her properly. What else can I let you do?" Ashley looked at Taylor angrily. If Taylor wasn't still useful, she wouldn't work with her anymore. Ashley thought that she was simply too noble to work with someone like Taylor. Taylor saw that Ashley was angry and immediately tried to smooth things over. She said, "All right, Ashley, don't be angry. I'll promise to listen to you next time." Ashley had a sinister look in her eyes. She said, "Looks like I'll have to think of another way." There was no way that she was going to allow Jade to stay and act as the female lead and flaunt it in front of her. That was absolutely impossible. The staff suddenly ran to the dressing room and said, "Are you guys ready? It's your turn." Taylor was shocked. She quickly turned her head nervously and said, "Okay, we'll be right there." As she spoke, she patted her chest and found that he had suddenly come in. She let out a sigh of relief. Fortunately, no one had heard their conversation. Ashley stared unhappily at Jade. Why did Jade have a specialised makeup artist and such an exclusive position? They could only hide in the corner with their unskilled makeup artists. It was too unfair. And on top of that, she was only playing a small role. Ashley tightly held her hand and hatred instantly appeared in her eyes. She felt that the female lead in The Decadent Lady must be hers. Taylor silently followed behind her and didn't speak anymore. Her eyes looked helpless. "All right, everyone, take a break. The director said to treat everyone to a drink, but it's very hard to get good drinks here." Just as they were about to go out, the staff suddenly ran in and brought them tea. They had been eating countryside food for the last few days. It was a very rare experience for them to have such delicious drinks. Ashley and Taylor weren't missing any opportunities and immediately went up to take the tea. After the staff had finished distributing the tea, they took the last cup to Jade and quietly said to her, "Miss Winslet, this was specially prepared for you by a gentleman." She got different tea than the others. Everyone else had cheap plastic cups, but Jade's was served in a thermos cup, and it was an especially beautiful thermos cup. When she opened it, she smelled the fragrance of the tea. It was still steaming. Jade looked at the warm tea and felt a surge of warmth in her heart. Just as she was about to ask who had prepared it, the staff had already left. Why was it specially prepared for her? Who was it? Jade was excited and took a sip. She found the taste very familiar, and it didn't look like it was bought outside. The tea in the thermos was very pure and gave her a familiar feeling. She seemed to have had this kind of tea at home. Dario had brewed it for her to drink at home. Could it be that the staff members were talking about Dario? "This tea tastes really good." Taylor happily sipped the tea, but thought that Jade's tea seemed to be of higher quality. She felt a little envious. Since Jade was the female lead, she was treated differently from the others. "You're a bumpkin, isn't she just drinking tea?" Although Ashley said so, she drank her tea very quickly and didn't notice anything strange at all. The two of them started acting, but for some reason, when they were halfway through filming, both of them suddenly felt sharp pains in their stomachs. The film crew had no choice but to shoot other scenes first because Taylor and Ashley were fighting for the toilet. Ashley's stomach hurt, but she still wanted to continue filming. The result was very bad. They were called all NG shots, not good for anything. The other actors, who were waiting to start filming, all cried out and told the two of them to get lost. Because Ashley and Taylor only had small roles, the team could easily find substitutes. The director very decisively changed their roles. He said that he would wait for them to recover and still let them act in other roles. Ashley really wanted to protest, but even the director had asked her to leave. That meant that there was no chance. She'd gone through great difficulty to enter this crew. And now she was unwilling to leave this opportunity, but her stomach really hurt. In the end, the two of them had to return to their rooms. Because of their stomachs, they could no longer film. They couldn't make any money that day. Ashley didn't care. She didn't act to earn money, but Taylor was very sad because her story was different. Jade saw Ashley and Taylor and felt a lingering fear in her stomach. She was afraid that the same thing would happen to her. The two of them suddenly had diarrhea, which also made her feel a trace of doubt in her heart. She quietly looked at the tea that the two of them had drunk, as if she knew something. At noon, Jade was about to go and get some lunch when Caroline handed her an exquisite lunchbox, saying that she wanted her to eat it. "Caroline, this isn't good, right?" She wanted to say that she was the only one eating an especially prepared lunch. It made her feel a little embarrassed. "You should eat it, since I brought it for you." Caroline coldly handed the lunchbox to Jade. "Oh." Jade was afraid that Caroline would get angry, so she obediently took the lunchbox from her hands and found a hidden place to eat. She didn't want to be seen. When she opened the lunchbox and tasted the first bite, she almost slapped herself. How could she have almost rejected such good food? It was very delicious, and it was as beautiful as a work of art. It also gave her a familiar feeling.